I mean,
light
that
armor.
was the similar the raid boss in CS:GO loadout, right?
Yeah. C-Long is the medium push, not slow, not fast, just cautious. And once the wall comes up, attention will be turned elsewhere. Still one kind of spamming it, but not going to be the case here. Way too French, spread out defensively. One holding A, camera at banana. Everybody else scattered towards B. One remaining at C. B will be the push here. Retro able to find the opening frag and then one. Walled off to the left-hand side. A connector will be just one player. Kev gets in and takes one down in garage. Underrated. Looking cute, feeling cute. Unscathed so far.
Wow. I was going to say that. I mean, I said just before this that way too French maybe don't need to be hot here, but underrated. That's a very strong pistol round for them. And today they're currently 6 and 7 in pistol rounds across 4 maps.
Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. The pistol rounds are I don't know. What are the pistol rounds actually like? Is it just gun control? Is it what brings that success to pistol rounds?
One of it is that, of course, on the offense. Ooh, shakes. Don't even have time to talk about it there as he picks up 3. And that's going to be attackers taking that, only losing the 2. But I think when you're on the offensive side, the pistol rounds are a lot easier. Just for the simple fact that you outnumber the defenders on whatever site that you decide to push, unless for whatever reason the defenders have that stack, right? But yeah, underrated. They've done it on the defense as well. They've just been able to really have that trigger discipline with the crosshair discipline as well, making sure that they've are ready. Teams just falling into the crosshairs now. So here we go into the 3rd round. Underrated. Have been having a little bit of trouble, of course, converting these 3rd rounds, but they only have 1 SMG, by the way, into this one. And so there's a possibility, of course, that they can actually convert this round.
Possibility. How high of a possibility is the question, I suppose. 5 on 5. Kev slinking ahead. Has the round 3 op and pushing up. I don't know about all that, but they're 2-0, and I'm just casting. So we'll see if they catch any fish with it. Everybody in their mama B are underrated. Way too French, on the other hand, spread out. 1 player at B, 2 left, 2 right. So everything going to be going Millhouse if underrated just surge forward. But they're actually going to back off here. What made underrated change course from B?
I think it was just everything was just taking way too long, and they had to put everyone back to their default sites. You can't just overcommit and give up a free one right now, as underrated themselves have backed off. They're making their way over to the A site now.
Still 2 scattered across the map, and Shanks is actually going to pick up Incred, who's making the rotation from B. Melio Mariah, 3 kills to the big man. One of them being the bomb carrier. And the bomb is downtown. Troublesome spot for Meal as Kev finds the backside, quite literally, and gets the op shot. But way too French find themselves on the board after a headshot from Hughes and an op for Hughes. You love to see it if you're a fan of Way Too French.
Yeah. Not entirely too sure whose cage that was. I think that was Way Too French's cage over at short A, and I think that's kind of why that first person that peeked up short A ramp didn't check the angle and lost that duel, allowing Melio to pick up that triple kill. It was massive, just shutting that down. Underrated. Had to play that kind of fast and loose, and I think with how long they took, it worked out in the benefit, of course, to Way Too French at the end there. Now here, underrated, forced onto the pistols. They are going to try to make a play for B, but they might just be running right into all of the explosives of Nano.
Not going to find a home just yet, but they'll certainly tossing it out there. Incred, oof. 85 damage dealt to them. Nano Takes down Jamo. 3 players dead on underrated. And Retro can't find the kill. So it's a 2-on-2 here as Shanks gets busy. The op returned, the op taken away. And Way Too French have a 1-man advantage with 2.
Yeah, and he needs to go back to spawn to pick up the spike as well. So this is going to slow him down. At this point, I think Way Too French just play together, just commit to one side at the very least, and then go for the retakes. Afterwards, you play the numbers as it looks like he's running it straight over towards C. And so this is actually really good retake opportunity for Way Too French. One pushes towards spawn, one pushes out from garage. We'll see what Shanks can do here on the post plant.
Both players going to be coming from the same angle. Not a bad plan, honestly, when it's versus a single player. You can double peek everything. Just hold hands with your teammate and make sure not to line up for the collat. Shanks with the flank. Turns on the ult. Coming around from the left-hand side. Players fake the defuse. Pops up. Got to see him. Now trying to go to the left-hand side. Gets the Phantom, that's what I'm going to call it, the illusion, and the real player comes around the corner and really dies for the count. 2-2. Way Too French get the defuse and the kill.
Yeah, I don't think that's where you use the run it back. You saw that once he got cleared, they were able to just stick it.
Thank you.
So the win condition was very odd for underrated on that one. I feel like that was a tool that could have been better spent here. Imagine if Shanks had the run it back to just run it down mid instead. So they're not going to have that opportunity. Way Too French tied up 2-2. But we've got another rifle round in play.
At the same time, I mean, if you position yourself close enough to, it's a dangerous game for sure. 1-on-1 trade down long over at A. Ha! Pop jump and the spike down over here in, what do we call this room specifically?
I'm
going to call it
CT. T.
I'm going to call it diploma because there's like a diploma on the wall, you know?
Oh, that reminds me. I got to figure out where my diploma is. I never got it framed. It's somewhere sitting in storage, I think.
I got to get a diploma. I dropped out of college. 4 players alive here. Nope, that's just 3.
Yeah, I've got a sociology degree, so basically the same thing.
Underrated. Trying to take down the lone meal. The op player switches out for the rifle. Still time to defuse. Jumps away from the molly. No info from the recon bolt. Firing on through. Pick up the op. Decides to save. And I like that call. Give it a shot. It's not there. I'll see you later.
Yeah, we got the eco res coming out onto Shanks there. Oh, J-Mo, he's spotted out. But yeah, nothing should happen. Underrated will be able to put a third one on the board. And Way Too French this time. The defense, just that, default play onto the B site and worked out. And so we'll see if Way Too French make any adjustments for this play to try and shut that one down. I'm trying to remember exactly where Hughes was playing, but I believe Hughes was playing over on the C site.
Yes.
Okay.
He's been kind of holding that spot down pretty much the entire time. We'll see if he can continue.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe he plays over towards garage. Instead, he's playing long. It's going to possibly be in the crosshairs of that operator, but no. Shanks is slowed down there as he will just go ahead and spam that door.
Players getting more familiar with wall pen, trying to spam that corner. Kev still here at long. C seems to be the commitment. 2 players here waiting. 3 players have to make the rotation. Sova's going to fire down mid, and here comes everybody on the site. Meal by himself, going to be flanked out to the left-hand side. Finally, walks around. Nobody took care of him. And after that, they certainly will. Way Too French. 2 players left for the retake. They're both coming out of T. Shanks grabs number 3, and Millie will trade out, but that's that. 4-2, underrated. The newcomers looking good.
All right. Way too French though. Now that they got some money under their belts. Let's see, the rifle rounds here is what's really important for Way Too French. Is underrated. They haven't been able to exercise the same kind of map presence as they did the last time they were on the offense so far. But this B play, it looks like there are some adjustments coming out from Way Too French to try and deal with that right now. They're going to keep Solo over at the A site. They moved over to the Cypher solo at the A site. Oh, they're rotating him back around, actually.
Yeah, they're going to figure it out. Quick pause as our players get their ducks in a row real quick. Underrated took 3 games to get here. We play best of 3s.
He said mouse died.
Listen. My G. Get a plug. Oh, man. Underrated took 3 games to get here. And Way Too French have looked real strong. Not just here on Fight Night, but across the Valorant ecosystem. Getting a couple of dubs. Collecting them. Putting them in a box. Underrated, though. Currently lead this game. Of course, this is a best of 3 as well.
Okay, so here we go. At the beginning of the round, it is going to be the Cypher solo over at A, and it's going to be a double stack onto B. What I want to see, though, instead of the Sova going over to B, it's moving that Sage on over to hold down B site, moving the Raze over to control Garage. It's kind of what I want to see out of Way Too French. I don't know if that's the exact play they need to go with, but if I were in their shoes, that's definitely what I would do at this point.
Wall comes out. Nobody mid. Underrated.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Get out of my way.
Looking for A. 2 players through banana, 3 players through short. And Melio can't make the moves up top. Players locked there, and 1 making the long flank for Way Too French, 1 coming with the medium flank, I suppose, up through mid, and then 3 players just trying the old-fashioned retake. Incred starts things off and get the kill.
This is going to be a difficult retake as they have excellent post-plant positions. Go post control over short, along with long. Anj gets that first kill, backs away, still traded away. But he gets right back onto the site now as 2 members are pushing him. The Brimstone ult forcing them into short, but oh man, just not able to hit those shots. It's down to a 1v1.
Melio's going to rush up, hit the... not good enough. Jamo finds it. Everybody knows you're going for the fake defuse. So do you go for the full stick these days?
It's difficult, especially when you're up against a Brimstone that hadn't used his Molotov at that point. The lineup was actually off, so if he had stuck it, he might have actually been able to get it. It's pretty difficult to really call. So underrated now with 5 rounds under their belts.
I want Valorant to sell the rings that Phoenix wears. Would you wear those rings, IRL?
See, I'm kind of against rings. I've got a fear of rings. Oh, Shanks.
Incredible. Gonna ring one up there against Shanks. The entry fragger has been fragged. So underrated, 4 players strong. Still here at C. Half of them at Cubby, the other half falling on back. And the fallback callback will be the all-in. Way Too French. At least we'll hear the orb taken. Slow roll from the spike holder. B site looks to be the new target. Defenders are scattered. 2 players looking directly at B. 2 players still over at C. And the lone Cypher dealing with the other Cypher at A. They're just playing their own game. Explosions on B. The wall off to the left-hand side. A connector will be where there is danger. But it's smoked off. Kev waiting with the long-range sniper, able to take one out after Retro before Ainge. Kev finds the second, misses the third shot. Cypher, the only one alive, scratch it. And it's 6-2 after 8.
Boy, so they did move over Use to B like I had wanted. It's really unfortunate that, you know, they allowed them to get this the wall off, and it just feels like, you know, those paint shells coming out for Nano just aren't hitting where they need to. This time around, Underrated possibly going for that A push. They've already got 4 people floating around here right now. It's a triple stack coming out from Way Too French.
Ooh.
So we'll see if this one works out for them.
Op coming down here on a short. Not my favorite spot for the op, but
Yeah,
all players miss this one. Oof, okay. Location revealed. This one goes to Sova. Man, that's a gutsy call. Holding when you get hit with the tracking dot. I know it's not impossible. That's a gutsy call. Emil rightfully wins the fight.
During all that, though, Underrated did lose 2. Way Too French did lose 2. They've got a res available,
Revealing area.
but it's going to be difficult. Again, where they died, it makes it very hard for them to recover the bodies if they wanted to.
At the same time, Underrated is trying to rotate out of here with less than a minute. So Way Too French don't have the bodies, but, you know, essentially defense, you're just stalling, right? So good angle here from Meal.
Kill my allies.
Retro gets up Kev. Beautiful control there. Pop-Tart's going downstairs. Won't find anybody. Full rotate to C is my call. Hughes finds Kev lurking. We'll see if Underrated go elsewhere if they stick it. There's the res.
Yeah, Kev with the dieback as well. So now it's a 4v4, as it looks like the move is, well, their only opportunity now is be the
They
wall
have
up onto
to
the
do
right-hand
this.
side.
Found them.
Along with the slow here, it's going to be stuck. Does have to be careful. Incred pushed up. He's going to be able to burn down Retro with that Molotov, and Spike is down, but it's a 4v2 in the post plant.
One's over at window. And somebody's going to be coming from the C to B flank. Incred finds it. Nice turnaround. Milio able to grab one as well. And Underrated have 6 under their belt, but Way Too French will grab about half of that after 9. 3 more to go. Still able to tie this one before the half is Way Too French. Not everything coming to Millhouse for them this time around, but this is where they can start to make some noise. Economy for Underrated, how do you feel?
This is a nice spot.
It's still good. I mean, if they're able to buy into this one, I do worry about, of course, how the anti-eco looks.
Right.
If Way Too French can break that economy. Underrated in the series just before this were having difficulties with those, trying to convert in any of their eco rounds to a win. Right now, Incredible holding over at Garage on this Brimstone. We'll go ahead and smoke that double doors off. Actually holding. Smokes off B instead.
One player in Garage window. Shanks gets it through the smoke, baby. Ange able to answer as well. Way Too French. Only a 3 remaining. And Nano's going to walk up. Bad nade, but good kill. So a 4-3 contest here. Bomb walking away from C. Walking likely to A, where Cypher has completely taken over here, forcing the enemy Sova off the site. Way Too French still have 2 players lagging behind. Meal, though, finds the kill. Will it deter the A push? Doesn't look like it. Spike on board and getting ready to plant, but here comes some nonsense. Not able to put it down yet. There's the follow-up, and there's the plant.
You're dead.
Ooh, Shanks pushing up aggressively with that run it back. He's instantly cleared, but he's got info. He knows 2 are over there. Flash out, not going to actually work as Hughes goes for that peek, takes one out.
Nice wall there. Really efficient. I don't want to give credit where it's not due. But that's a huge big brain play. Phoenix comes up and shoves himself and does kind of what we were talking about with Omen ult, right? Just use it for info. So Phoenix pops, run it back, charges at him, gets the information, and then the other two players behind there, Sage, knows that this player is that this is a Phoenix particularly, puts down a wall in a way that will defend against a default flash, but not cut off their attack. Really big brain play if that's how it was lined up.
Yeah. Underrated with a stellar offense right now. And it's just the tempo that they're not able to keep up with. Having that Jet, having the Phoenix as underrated. Now making their next push. They're all the way through Garage into the connector area over by B. Pushed all the way to CT. They've got full control over to C. And so they're going to go ahead and run that up and get the plant for free.
Easy clap. This was the easiest round for underrated thus far. Not over, of course. 4 versus 2 defense. But everything's certainly on the side of good. Cool little angle here. Shouts to the production staff. And Melio's going to make good use of it. Retro walks on in, walks on home, and the final kill here with the big boy gun. So underrated, 8 in the pocket. Way too French. Trying to end this one at 8-4, which is, I think 8-4 is the, oh no, Way Too French is defending.
They're defending.
Oh no. Ah!
This is a real tough look for them. At this juncture, the offense is going to be very difficult for them with very little room to work with, room to breathe.
Default play, underrated. Spike lifted home. Flash in the garage. Forces Incred back. Playing with a little gun. Shanks ready to play with the big one. Shanks being trepidatious here. 2 players there, left and right, keeping everybody's mind occupied as Jet dashes on in and unfortunately falls immediately. Shanks is able to punish Incred, but use answers back. 3 players alive for Way to French after Shanks gets 1 more. And 2 up for underrated. This looks to be Way Too French's. Unless Retro really makes the big boy play.
He gets the res off of this, by the way, with the spike plant now. And so who does he res here? He does fall back. It's going to be Jamo brought back into this one. If he's got the molly, that'll be huge for them along with the smokes. He does fall all the way back, and so he's going to be playing for that molly position. Oh, just narrowly missing that stage. But here comes the shark dart. Doesn't actually connect.
Oh, come on. You got to bounce that. Retro gets 1. Oh, J-Mo gets 2. Retro does make the big boy play. And 9-3 at the half. Underrated. Certainly looking pretty damn well rated in this game.
Woo. Underrated. What a way to start the series off now. 9-3 on their attacking side here on Haven up against Way Too French. Did not expect to see this at all whatsoever. Now, Way Too French really got an uphill struggle ahead of them here as underrated are just looking absolutely on fire. Shanks came alive in the first series of the day, particularly on this map, and he's doing it once again. But it's Retro. Also had a slow start, but really came alive himself into his own, and clutching that last one out was huge for them.
Pistol round one more time. And Incred starts this one off hot. Shanks goes down. And because of that, mid a little bit more open. Way Too French with the bomb. Come on. Can't deal with the robot. And so they all just leave garage. They say, whatever, dude. We're out.
Yeah.
And, we'll walk towards mid again.
It's like when you find a bee or a really massive spider in a room. Just get out of there. Everyone just get out of here.
or a bird.
The timing on that, by the way. Kev just narrowly missed there. We got two flankers coming out from underrated, coming up right behind them.
Uh-oh.
Headshot.
One. Surprise. And there's the secondary, but Hughes is able to win this one. Meanwhile, Meal looking strong. Spike planted. Way too French. 3 players alive versus the one. Incred falls back, sees the player, can't win the trade. J-Mo MG. Is it enough, though? 2 players left. They're both coming from the same spot, and Meal instead will grab numero 3. And it is 9-4 as Way Too French wake up a little bit and try to win the pistol.
Yeah, even though underrated have been fairly successful all day long with their pistol rounds, now this one would have been huge for them. Way Too French clutching that one up. So now where do they go from here? It looks like a possibly full-on push. They've got the numbers. They've got the weaponry to work with it as well. Take a look at underrated, though. They might have a 4-man stack ready for this push.
Oh, they're ready. I don't know why they know, but they are so ready. Everybody rotating to C. Pop, pop. Not good enough. Nato gets it with the sub. Kev, though, blindly firing into the smoke, able to find one alongside J-Mo. Incred answers, so it's a 3-on-3. Let's get ready to joust. It's all about C site.
And they're sticking around here. Looks like one does get spotted out. There we go, pushing up through mid, and so they're sandwiched here, with plenty of time to work with. But I don't think there's going to be any opportunity for them really to try and get out of this position. One still stuck in cubby, 2 back basically over by spawn. How do they deal with this?
Yeah, I mean, this is what you see this a lot. Oof. Way Too French, a much better team than kind of what I'm about to reference, but you see this a lot in matchmaking where teams have an idea and start to execute and then stop. And when you get sort of like caught up, Shorty runs out of ammo, you can totally get yourself surrounded.
Yeah, the lurk was so long over there that he's really not entirely too sure. We'll just go ahead and run that over to the B site as he didn't hear the plant going down onto the C site, so it was either B or A. So great movement coming out from Anj so far as he pushes his way through windows. This is going to be difficult. He's already walled off, and only with a pistol to try and clear this. That just gives away your position.
Go around it. I like the call. Sage holding the only sight line she needs to. Easy. Easy. Just really easy. Way Too French were able to grab that one. The round wasn't easy. That kill was. But that was an arduous task for Way Too French to find number 5 here. 2 in this last half. Yes, it was a 9-3 split at the trade. And underrated actually got 9 on offense, which is not what you like to see there if you're rooting for them. So if you're rooting for Way Too French. But Way Too French have been able to kind of claw their way back into it. And 9 feels a lot different from 10. So Way Too French still have a way into this, but underrated have really dug their heels in and just straight up look good.
Now, Way Too French looking to make a play, it looks like over here on the A site. Very cautious. I mean, checking corners with the camera. Ooh.
Cute play. Not enough. Party at A site. Everybody here in a red jersey. Blue jersey still rotating. 2 off site. The third trying to find a way back. But J-Mo able to do work while he's waiting for his teammates. Way Too French have 3 players up, and the spike is going to be planted. Underrated. 3 players on the other side. Fire from through. Shanks waits it out, still finds it. Great crosshair placement from the Phoenix player. And that's that. Way Too French were able to take this one again. 6-9. Nice.
It's a very important rifle round there, and it does kind of show us exactly where we are in terms of footing here. When it comes to the rifle rounds there on the offense, Way Too French being able to win that out, it's going to be a little bit more difficult now for Underrated to hold these defenses. It's you don't want to be losing these rifle rounds on the defense. You're the team that's got that advantage. You've got the crosshairs already set. So now Mill, he's got the operator here as they're considering, they're waiting, playing this cautiously. Default, there it is. Mill gets that first pick out to Shanks.
Beautiful play. Mill, once he's able to grab this op and find positions, he can really kind of take over the fight. Kev here just chilling, knives out. Not the movie, the player. Way Too French. Trying to figure out what to do, and Kev gonna give him the answer. Nice trade though, as Nano finds it through the wall. One more player underneath there. See, that's a diploma, right?
I am not sure. It's definitely a certificate of sorts, which a diploma is a glorified certificate.
Sure. Certificate room? Could you say that really quickly? Coming up through certificate. I don't think.
Nah, that's definitely not the call out. It ain't it, Chief.
Oh man, I guess you can call it paper. That's probably the pro player call, you know, paper.
Planted the spike.
Spike down. Way Too French have 4 players to defend against Retro. Sheriff in a dream, baby.
Yeah, both sides really having really strong attacking sides now. And I don't know what's happening with the defense of either team, but yeah, Way Too French really coming alive here, almost tying it up. We're at 7-9.
I'm gonna do one of those toss outs again. All right, here, take it or leave it. Agree or disagree. Haven, or excuse me, this map. I messed up a little bit. This map might be attacker sided because of the ability to rotate so easily. Like maps are defensive sided by default. Nice shot by Neil, because in the beginning, because players don't know how to attack. But with 3 separate sites, the ability to rotate, now the game has been matured, attackers understand the sight lines a little bit more than we did once upon a time. And so maps that started as T-sided, or excuse me, defensive-sided, CT-sided might be a little bit more attractive from an attacker side now. Wow, nice flick.
Oh,
I mean, impressive.
oh boy, Way Too French.
2 players up, and they're both way at home. Spike's on site, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's planted for window. The Sova ulti does actually connect. I don't have the Brimstone ulti. Actually, they're going to go ahead and commit that Brimstone ulti, and right now with the Molotov
Molly?
as well.
Is that enough?
So,
oh, Meal. Oh, nice shot from Shanks, but the secondary as well. I don't know if they have time. Halfway done?
Yeah, they do.
2.88 seconds left. And that, I mean, this is underrated buying Shanks at dinner. That was, that 2K at the end, pretty and punctual. Exactly when they needed it to happen.
I don't know if there's maybe another a shock dart that could have been thrown in there. They were doing an excellent job of delaying. If there was an additional shock dart, that could have been the play. That could have been what got them that round. But hey, very good defense coming out, or very nice retake there coming out from Underrated. Way Too French had the tools to try and finish that out. It was just unfortunate. Maybe they didn't have to layer the ultimates as quickly as they could. Maybe they could have waited another half second or something between. I don't know. Optimizing these the overlap is a difficult call.
For sure. It's definitely tough to come through. Spike slowly walked to C. through garage.
Barrier created.
Still afraid of it, though. Garage is incredibly scary to push.
Fire in the hole!
And here comes Ray's just... Okay. She hit it on accident? Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not entirely too sure, but that does give them the plant at the very least. It's still a 5v5 now retake for this. So here we go. Underrated are coming in. They're onto the B site. It's Shanks that started it all off.
Judge, jury, and executioner. Oh no, ran out of time right at the worst spot. I thought he was going to be able to get that second player. Can't though. Starts to defuse. Joke's on him as he's got to get out of there. Every piece of nonsense. Shock dart, rifles, and nonsense, and meals showing up close. And the attackers are able to get this one. Ocho for way too French.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Underrated ended up playing on the stacks there, playing with no control over the B site. It was just a free rotation for way too French to get onto the site and get it down there. Last time there was at least some opposition, which made it that much more difficult, but that was just an absolute free plant with very little utility used. We got to see the paint shells coming across, the shock darts right on point as well. Everything, every key piece of utility used to delay anyone to try to get on to that point now. Way too French are going to play this default here, take this a little bit slower as they're getting closer and closer to bring this game within reason. 8-10 now is the scoreline. Way too French really fought back for this one, and there we go. Default's actually paying off for them. He even holds for the third.
Oh man, no fear. Meal just long range, medium range, able to get it done. He has quickly become one of my favorite players to watch in Valorant. Cypher player also, so you love to see it. Or excuse me, Sova player, so you love to see it. I, of course, am a Sova main. Sometimes you need a bow and arrow to get it done. Good post plant. How do you feel about it?
It's a 5v1. That's I think one of the best post plant positions you can have.
Are you winning, son?
Yeah.
It's like when the player hits the home run. Is that good, sweetie? Yeah, man. Way too French in a very, very nice spot. This will be number 9.
You have to remember that this half also started. It was 9-3, I believe. You really want to turn this quarter again? He had to try. He had to try.
I mean, he had to try. It was definitely funny. He did not expect to see 3 way too French members waiting there. Maybe 2, but not 3 people staring down their gun barrels.
Together.
19. And our team's only separated by 1. As you said, I think the most impressive thing here is how way too French kind of were in a hole, like swimming in the moat at the half. And have, against all odds, taken this attacker's side and really ran with it. Jamerson not agreeing with me when I proposed perhaps this being attackers flipped. 50-50 maybe? Like,
I'm just a little bit on the fence. Like I said, I love how defense can play this very dynamically. How, again, they can control where they want to push. If they want to, of course, get aggressive. I like that, you don't have to play a completely reserved style. You're not kind of forced on that like you are on something like Bind. Ooh.
Big
a lot
damage
of kills
coming
being
out.
traded.
Big damage coming out.
I know exactly where you
Understated, underrated. Falling down here. Way too French. Get the plant. 2v2.
They got the info early on as well. And so they've got this crossfire set. Retro trying to go for the peak. They were going for the timing. That was it. Nice jump down, but what a flick! The turnaround, nil.
I told you, man. This is one of my favorite players to watch play. He's got the Lakers axe too. Shoutouts to J.R. Smith. But man, this guy has been fun to watch frag. Just straight up WTF, making underrated say WTF. 10-10. Tied up. Who takes round number 21? Non-rhetorical. Who's taking this one?
Way too French. They've only dropped one round so far here on the attacking side, and it seems today in this matchup, oh, that's big. They've lost the stage control. Melio, if he had just turned over one more time, he would have actually seen there was someone pushed up underneath window. The timings. There you go. Just check underneath window.
I didn't see it. He didn't see it. He didn't see it. Scotty doesn't know.
I think he heard him jump up, though.
He heard him. He heard him jump. Pop, pop. Nice play there from Melio. Spike still back at home in cred, thinking about going C. The rest of the squad has to stay back. Players going to filter in through main. And, oh, wow. That's his earshot. Melio just heard the player jumping up those stairs.
Mm-hmm. So now it's going to be a free A site. We do have the flank coming out from Kev on that jet from behind, but Melio is going to be holding this angle. Let's see how disciplined he is about holding it now.
Spike going to go down here.
3 out of 5.
Nice job from Melio. Beautiful. But Melio has been just he's just doing the dirty work. Staying behind, holding the flanks. You know what I mean? He's doing the chores of the team, and he's getting it done. And like you said, you know, I asked you to put it down, and you did. And way too French, looking to be the one. You know, I was going to make a joke about being 21 and grabbing a drink, but they're from Canada. And I think it's 18 to drink in Canada. So the joke doesn't hold.
I don't know if it's like the U.S. is the only country in the world that requires you to be any age above 18 to drink.
Well, I guess I'll grab a drink. 21 for way too French. 11 in their pocket. Nice stuff, though.
Yeah,
way too French, really bringing it back.
Yeah, shoes on the other foot and shoes coming down now hard on to underrated here, who just haven't really been able to establish any kind of defense whatsoever. Way too French with the spearhead of, I don't even know who to really shout out, because everyone's kind of had their individual performances so far in this half. I guess Mill for sure.
Yes,
has been standout player for way too French.
Completely agree. He has been absolutely the player to look to.
Yeah, the spearhead, or I guess the arrowhead, being on the Sova.
Yeah. I guess if you had a really big bow, you could shoot a spear with a bow, like a really
a spear is technically just a really large arrow, right?
That's what I'm saying. So if you build like a trebuchet-sized bow, they're gonna need a trebuchet to bust down B, because Incred and Nano, the Caps Lock crew, are able to find 2 just like that. So it's a 5-on-3, and underrated, looking to take their negative numbers and try to make it positive, but Shanks still winds up minus, and it's 0-2, 10-11. Do these two players look to save or make the shot? Retro goes for it, dies out after. And so it's Jet alone. She's got an op. I say save. But that means you're on tournament, well, not tournament points, best of 3. My mistake. So you still have other games to play. Kev keeps the op. Nice job. And that'll be, no, a dozen, baby. And you asked who to look at, Jamerson. This man right here.
Yeah, Mill just holding it down. Way too French. Woo, really bringing it back. 9-3, by the way, is how we started this half. Way too French. Basically picking up 9 in a row. Only dropped 1 during this half so far. And I don't know what's going on. The defense is really just being shut down here. As it looks like they're just going to try and spam through this wall now. Already getting set up with that stim beacon.
Spike still left at home.
Emilio was actually the one that got spammed through that wall.
Get out of my way.
Full heal, though. No problem. Thanks to the Sage. Way too French playing very disciplined. It's easy to just kind of go for round number 13, but understanding that underrated are 10 here, they've got to play it just like they've played all these other rounds.
They've punished a lot of the aggression that underrated have been trying to utilize here on the defense. You know, the pushes up through B, the pushes into window and everything. And they've deflected a lot of those defensive attacks. But now they've grouped all 5. There's a small little sliver to work with as well.
Is it a trap, though?
Here come the smokes. Oh, he got spotted out. He knows he's there. That's going to be the clear. Nano takes him out. Finally, a showstopper actually connecting. And even through the smoke, did a lot of damage onto him. Does have to back away now. Whew.
When you spam through smoke, you kind of like pick a spot and hope they're there. And the spot that player picked was good. The shots are good. 2 for JMO as he busts on the site. That's a 3rd. Can he find the 4th? Yes, but not the 5th. Way too French. It takes them 23, but they take game 1.
Wow. That was a tough one. I was starting to lose faith in Way Too French, but they're showing me why you cannot count them out. What a huge game for them.
Look at this. You asked